Hello, 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 hello. I'm trying to straighten out this camera so we make this work for us. Oh no, I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to make this work today. But I want to say hello to you all. I hope the coverage is great because I'm doing it in a different part of the house than my sisters. I'm back in California. Yay! I'm just very clear that I am a California girl. And so anyway, I'm bringing in a new subject today, and I'm bringing in a subject that many of you have been saying that you want to hear from me about, and I've been saying that's the next book, that's the next book, that's the next book. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I'm not seeing much going on. The live thing has not shown up, so I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. Or maybe we just don't have anyone joining me yet, and that's fine too. So I was going to start out with some music, and I think I am just going to go ahead and start out with that music. What the heck? Because I just came back from a weekend with Mama Gina. And the funny thing about Mama Gina is that I get to actually, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone like, why is this going on? The funny thing about Mama Gina, she helped me to realize how much I was living already what she teaches people. And so it also made me come clear with that, oh, maybe what my friend Holly wants me to do is actually right. So I'm feeling the nudge from Spirit to move forward with it. And so I actually had a friend last week say to me, Tomasa, you know what, you need to give the people what they want. If they're asking for help, then give it to them. So if you happen to be joining me, please say hello. I see Angela has joined me. Hello, Angela. Good to see you. Today's subject is a little bit different. It's not so much about the body, but we're going to be talking about more emotional health and diving in deeper differently than we've been. And, you know, I've been talking about the body, and I always go deep with the body. But, you know, today I'm really about to go really, really deep with our emotions, and I can go only as deep as Facebook will allow me, and only this scene here right will allow me, but I'm going to do it as best as I can. And so, you know, I think everyone can benefit from this. And I'll tell you, once I did this kind of work, I quantum leaped my life. I quantum leaped my business. I quantum leaped, the first time I did it, I quantum leaped my relationship with my oldest daughter. You know, when you're a mom and you're raising kids that are young, they're kind of in their tweens or junior high school level, and you're going through all kinds of things, and you know, you kind of, especially got daughters, you know, I don't know about you, but my relationship with my daughters is like 100% better today than it was back, you know, God, when the kids were younger. You know, when they were in high school, I would say, oh my God, throw my hands in the air, and I couldn't deal with them. So hello, Stacy. Hello, Angela. And Angela, you're right. Emotions are important and affect us physically. They most definitely do. I am a living example of that. I don't know if I've shared most of my stories about that. You know, my thing is always about letting go. You've probably seen some of my Facebook posts when I was in New York this weekend. It was all about me letting go, and I'm learning how to do it faster and faster and faster every time. So if you're joining me, please say hello. I want to say hello to you all. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with today's content. And today's content is very near and dear to my heart. It's something that I don't share with everybody because it's very intricate details. It's very, aloha, Rebecca, hi. It's very, it dives in deep into your soul level. And I might not touch the soul level here today, but what I'm going to do my best with you is have you reflect on some things going on in your life right now. So many of you have decided to join me to learn, like, what are the 3 common mistakes that even the most conscious person does that keeps them stuck in life. So we could be stuck in many areas in our life. We could be stuck in a relationship. We could be stuck in a friendship, because a relationship is not only a romantic relationship, but it could be a friendship. And it could be a relationship with a loved one, like a relative, a sibling, a father, a mother, someone. Also, you could be stuck in your business and not being able to move forward. And I actually had a client of mine last year that I worked with. She's a healer, and she's all the way on the East Coast, and she signed up to work with me on, you know, making her business bigger, and you know, having lots of clients, because it was really slow. And the fun thing about it was, when we got really to deal with what was really going on with her, it wasn't necessarily about the business. It It was always about a relationship with another person or her triggers and things of that sort, because that is what our blocks are. That is what gets in the way of us. And so, blocks show up in our bodies as dis-ease. And dis-ease can be anything from, tension in the body, pain in the body, to maybe you got cancer, to maybe you have, something going on with your colon, all these different dis-eases that Western medicine labels things as. And so I choose not to buy into labels. I choose to actually go, one of my projects, my lifetime has been my lungs. So lungs are about letting go, and so is the large intestine. So I've had a large intestine project. So clearly I'm here to learn how to let go this lifetime. And so those are what my physical projects have been this lifetime here, is my lungs and my large intestine. And those are all about letting go. So I ask you, what have been your projects? Even if you're not in that project right now, what has been your project? And then, I can share with you what some of the things are that it could be about. So, if we start, I wasn't even prepared to talk about this piece. This just got downloaded to me. This is funny. So, the funny thing about it, let's start with the stomach and spleen. So if you've got digestive issues, so digestive issues can be you're feeling bloated. It can be that maybe your food doesn't process all the way. It could also be how you're digesting life itself, period. So, what is your thing to do? So, perhaps it is about you learning how to think differently instead of worrying about things all the time. So maybe you are thinking about the worst that could happen. A lot of people are that way, The other thing is maybe you feel things, and you feel things like, I felt on Friday night when I left my phone in a vehicle. I normally, when I go to New York, I don't, hi Elise, how you doing, dear? Normally when I go to New York, I don't ride in a car. I ride in a subway and I walk everywhere, but I was with people who wanted to ride in cars. A little bit off balance for me. So I rode in a car, and I was really exhausted on Friday night because I flew in on a red eye on Thursday night, got in early Friday morning, and bam, got in, was getting around the city, walking and subway, and then to the evening time, it's time to go home. It's like, yeah, let's just take a car. I'm tired. And I left my phone in this vehicle. And the minute that vehicle drove away, I realized my phone was in there. I was worried about my readers. Like, where am I going to get my readers? And I left my readers. Oh my God, I'm going to have to go buy a pair of readers because, I can see far away, but I can't exactly see close up. And so I found the readers just as we're getting out of the car, but somehow I dropped the phone in the car, left it there. And I remember feeling myself doing that too, but I was so exhausted and tired. And so Friday night, the minute we got out of the car, I had this feeling, oh my God, where's my phone? Where's my phone? And we hadn't even walked across the street to go to the place where we're staying, the apartment we're staying in, or the condo, whatever you call them in New York City. We're staying with a friend in Harlem, no less. It was my first time in Harlem, so I had a really good time. But this is not what this is all about. So, I'm telling my story because my story helps me to learn to let go and to be the example for you. So here's the deal, is, in that moment, I had the feeling I was never going to see my phone again. I knew it. And the person I was going to say, oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I wanted to just tell her, oh, hell no, it's not going to be okay. That person went away with my phone. I'm never getting it back. And just the way everything was handled was an issue for me. So, and I put myself in, guess what? Victim mode. So I was a victim. Oh my God. Even though it was my responsibility to take care of my phone, I felt like no one was taking care of me. And I wanted to take care of myself and take control, get the number and talk to the VIA people who had the vehicle, but I let someone else handle it. Instead of saying that up front, I was tired, exhausted. Instead of being, a bulldozer and saying, give me the goddamn phone number, I just went, okay, I'm going to let it go. But a part of me knew I was never going to see that phone again. And that was really hard. I just bought that phone. And so the thing about it was I had to come to realization. So when I finally let my emotions out, I believe that was Sunday, I let my emotions out about the phone. I was angry that I lost my phone. I I wasn't angry at myself. I was just angry that people in general, this is what I find. I'm angry that no one could be in integrity and turn the goddamn phone in. And that is my issue. I was angry about that yesterday. So damn angry about it. And I let it out at the event. Like, I'm so angry. I can't believe that people would do this to others. Here's the thing, is I'm coming to realize I have to practice discernment. And so what do you have to do? So number one mistake that we make, even the most conscious person makes, is they become a victim. And so what do I mean about becoming a victim? Well, they did it to me. They did it to me. They did X, Y, Z to me. Listen to the story I just told you. So when you become a victim, someone did something to you. Someone wronged you. You're upset about it. And you feel like so tiny and contracted. And guess what? I was contracted this weekend. I'm very clear I was contracted about it. And upset about it. I mean, if you notice, I wasn't even posting on Facebook. When I can't post, it's because I'm going inside. I'm looking to see what's going on with myself. Like, where am I? So I felt like a victim. I felt like a person who didn't have her phone. My phone is a very important piece to me nowadays because it's my communication device. I'm a freaking Gemini. I'm ruled by Mercury. I have a lot of Mercury in my chart between all my Virgo shit and all my Gemini stuff. And here's the deal is I need to be in communication with people. Is part of who I am. You know, I think, I analyze, and I'm totally ruled by Mercury. And I'm very clear with that. I own that within myself. So here's the deal is when you become a victim, what do you attract? More victim stuff. And it happens over and over again until you get to the core of it. And sometimes we'll get to the core of it. And when we get to the core of it, we process through that. And then we have more stuff to process because we're peeling off layers. So everyone wants to think that just because they go to healing, that they're done. And I'm here to tell you that healing is a process. If you're still in the body of this lifetime, guess what? You got more shit to heal. And that's the truth. You're not an enlightened being that's ready to ascend and go wherever we go or to another realm or whatever. So if you're in a body, you're still here to do some healing. So the number one thing we do is we become a victim. And we attract everybody around us to collude with our stories. And so I had everybody around me who colluded with my story. Oh, Tomas, so sorry you lost your phone. I know how you feel. Until Sunday, the lady I was staying with, I hadn't even known her before I went to New York, but she was the friend of my friend. And she just sat there with me and she called me out on my shit. And that's what I was looking for someone to call me out on my shit. And she said, Tomasa, you have not felt it. You have not totally felt yourself losing your phone. And I went, you know what? You're right. You're right. And I let my anger out. And I went ahead and then I owned myself losing that damn phone. And I went to go look at what my lesson was about it. So what was my part here about the phone? Because my whole goddamn weekend was about the phone and not having it and feeling like a victim. And so I say to you, what are you sitting in right now that makes you feel perhaps like a victim? Maybe someone isn't treating you right. Where do you not feel like you're being treated right? What triggers you when somebody says something to you and you feel like they aren't respecting you, they're disrespecting you? Sure, I felt disrespected as a human being when someone didn't return my damn phone. Because I know if it were me who found somebody's phone, I'd find a way to get their phone to them. I have found somebody's credit card in a parking lot, at a Target parking lot in San Ramon where I used to live, and go, oh, right at the holidays, and go, oh, I got to go figure out how to get this card back to this person. I mean, I looked in the yellow pages and called numbers and things of that sort. By that time, the person probably had canceled their credit card. But what I'm saying to you is like, you know, what in you triggers you when someone does not live up to your standards? And you feel like a victim. You feel like they have like perpetrated you and make you feel contracted and like a victim. So I clearly lost my phone. I left it in the vehicle. I was not happy that someone had not turned it in. that part of me totally felt like a victim. That how could we have a world that we live in that's like that? And I want to bring this to the surface, to the collective, because guess what? We all are feeling victimized right now. I'm seeing all over Facebook. I'm seeing how everyone is so upset that Donald Trump is the president of the United States. And I can't believe I said that. He's the president of the United States. And so, you know, how could we fucking let this man be president? How do we let this happen? And I think that a lot of people are there right now. And so I say to you is, okay, he clearly is our mirror for ourselves right now. Because we're feeling very victimized, especially as women, you know, because you know what's gone on in the media, what they say about him, all the things they say about him. You know, I don't even go into the details of it because I'm a woman. All I have to hear is one thing that this man has said about women, demeaning that towards women, and I'm off my rocker because I honor and respect where I am. And I love being a female, and I know that many of you do. So it's interesting, I got a bunch of females on today, and so this is very key for us right now, I believe. And some females are okay with Donald Trump being president, and that's okay. But it's like, how could we have such a perpetrator in the White House? And we ask that question. So, you know, what you're feeling victimized about right now, I ask you. So I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of exercise. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and breathe. Exhale and inhale. And exhale. Just continue to breathe. And I'm going to ask you to really drop into your body. Drop inside of yourself. And clear anything out that you brought onto this Facebook Live with you. That maybe it is, you know, that's in the back of your mind. Like, I want you to feel into that. Because these are, you know, are you worried about something? What's your mind on right now? Is it about a situation? Is it about the world's problems? Is it about one of your own personal problems? It doesn't matter. Because, you know, even if it's personal, we contribute to the collective consciousness. We contribute our own problems to the collective consciousness. Because if you're feeling that, someone else is feeling it too. That's really the truth. That's right, Angela. No one can take away our honor unless we allow them to. So, beautifully said. So, I want you to just drop into your body. So right now, I'm going to help you to drop into your shadows. A lot of people don't want to even look at their shadows. Here's the deal. Our shadows are the things that keep us from moving forward in our lives, from soaring. Our shadows keep us from being in a relationship. Our shadows keep people from feeling this, our heart. And so I ask you to drop into your body and really feel what's in the top of your mind. Where are you right now? Maybe it's on the collective level. Maybe it's on a personal level. Maybe it's on a tribal level. It's all part of our healing process. It doesn't matter. And I'm not going to call you selfish because yours is personal. And I'm not going to call you, you know, well, you can't solve the world's problems, because it's all important. It's all important for us to move through our blocks here. And sometimes we like to focus on the collective because it's easier. It's easier than us feeling into our own stuff. So if you're feeling a collective one, I want you to feel where in your life, personally, is this ring true for you? Are you feeling victimized? And then my question to you is, do you want to feel more victimized? Do you want to attract more victimhood? Or more victim kind of things happening to you? I'm going to tell you a story. So, a couple years ago, right after I got a divorce, I made an investment in an entertainment business. And I ended up finding out that the investment was a scam, a big scam for me. I don't tell many people this story, but the story's coming out in my next book in more intricate detail. I went on for about a year and a half of being scammed, investment. And I had to, when I found out I was scammed, I shut down. I shut down big time. I contracted. I went inside. I couldn't deal with too many people. I shamed myself. And that's what victimhood does. It makes you feel shame of yourself. And so those attitudes can create dis-easing. And I knew I had to work through all of this. I had to work through a lot of this in order to bring myself out into the open and be okay with people. Be okay and go, you know, not everybody is this way. And then I stood in that victimhood for a long time. So much that I allowed a friend, someone who I thought was a friend, to stay in my home. Back in 2014, she was between homes, and I said, hey, come stay with me. It's okay. You know, I'm that kind of person. I will open my doors to folks. And so she stayed in my home over the Thanksgiving weekend in 2014. And I get a call the day after Thanksgiving in 2014. And I'm told that my house is flooded. Granted, I'm renting this house. It's not my house that I own. The house has hardwood floors throughout it. Flooded. Imagine hardwood floors. They're going to buckle up if it's a really bad flood. I didn't think it was a really bad flood. And I trusted this person. And so I went home after, you know, a couple of days, and she tried to get it fixed and everything. And the thing that I ended up learning was that my house really did flood in some areas. And I remember telling a friend of mine that my house had been flooded, and she blamed it on the washing machine my friend had. She used her washing machine. She said my washing machine flooded the house. I went home, and I want you to know I used that washing machine about 100 times, and it never flooded for me. However, it buckled up the floors in the hallway. It buckled up some of the hardwood floors that were in the entryway of my master suite and the closet area a little bit. Luckily, my clothes didn't get wet and stuff. And the linoleum in the bathroom got wet and buckled, and it had to be removed, and in the laundry room. And so, and then part of my office. And so what I learned, it was very interesting, because the laundry room is across the hall from the third bedroom, which was my daughter/guest room. And that bedroom did not suffer any damage. So you think that if the washing machine was overloaded, over flood, it would damage that room, right? Well, my friend said to me, and she's lying to you, it's not the washing machine, it's something else, the bathtub. Well, you know, I had this wonderful bathtub in my master suite, so I thought, oh, well, it couldn't be that. So by the time I got home, my bathroom would have been, you know, buckled up, whatever. It was fine because it had hardwood floors in my bathroom too. So it's interesting that the middle bathroom, the second bathroom, the guest bathroom, the linoleum needed to be replaced. So could it have been that bathroom? Possibly. I still to this day don't know, but it's not important. But what I was upset, I felt victimized again. And part of that was me feeling victimized from the previous thing of the investment that I made several years ago, right after my divorce, in the entertainment industry, supposedly. This bozo who, you know, basically was supposed to be doing this. I was in a very vulnerable place after my divorce. I'm very clear about that. But the thing about it is that I began to realize I had to process through all this victimization I'd been through. I was angry at her. I was angry at the entertainment dude. I was angry at all of them. I shut myself down so much that my second chakra was locked up, that I couldn't even create for myself, create the money that I needed for myself to live. Because I was just so angry and mad at everyone, and I felt victimized. I went through a lot of healing through that. And that second victimization thing I went through, it was because of what I was feeling before from the whole entertainment investment. And so what happened for me is I went through a lot. I went to go live with a friend, and she helped me through a lot of this. And I could feel that I was locked up in my hips, my second chakra. I couldn't even let any man in my life. And I was like, oh, hell no, I do not want to date anybody. I wasn't dating in that time. I couldn't date. My friends were after me about that. I said, no way. And what ended up happening is I went through a process, and I began to have talks with a good guy friend of mine, started talking with him, and I started opening up very vulnerable with him and letting him know, because I felt very safe with him, and he started helping me with some things, some issues going on in my life. And then I began to want to date again. And so that was my thing, was, oh, I can let people into my life again. That second chakra opened up for me. I did a lot of work around it. And eventually, I was able to let people in again. Shit happens, yes. Learn to go with flow, fixing on. Well, sometimes, Angela, shit happens. And shit is very deep when it happens. And you have to go way deep to understand what's going on, what's triggering it. And so we can't just go, oh, hey, this happened and we just move on. Sometimes we can't move on because it's so deep that we have to learn what that is about. And so for me, my biggest wound here to learn here on this earth, I know, is not just about letting go. That has been my life lesson here. But when I went and did the shamanic wheel back in 2010, I learned that as an infant in the crib, that I felt abandoned. I'm the fourth of 4 girls. And I never even knew that till I went back and looked at that. And I went, oh shit. And there were talks about it in my family. Among my oldest sister would say, oh, you were always crying. You were a crybaby when you were born. Well, guess what? Guess why I was a crybaby? I wasn't being held. Babies want to be held. They want to, be held. And so we all have to go there and feel that within ourselves and find out what is the core, what's happening to us. And if we don't figure out the core, then we'll continue to have blocks. So the first thing is victimhood. So you have to move through your victimhood. You have to recognize it as victimhood and move through it. And if you continue to be a victim, you will allow more victim stuff to happen to you. So, and the thing about it is not to say that once you start to learn victimhood and move through it, that you never go through it again. You will. Look at me. I lost my phone. I felt like a victim. I was upset. But I moved through it much faster than when I used to. So, we have to look at what happened to us maybe earlier in our lives that has moved forward to this time that we're at. I'm sorry, I'm sitting on this ottoman and it keeps pushing back from the actual chair. So anyway, we have to learn what that is about and then move forward that way. So I want to talk about the second thing. And the second thing is that conscious people do is mistake that we do is we rescue others. So guess what? I was a rescuer. I've been a rescuer my whole life. Most healers are rescuers. We want to help people. And so we'll help people at our own expense. And that's what I did when I invested in this business back in 2012, 2013. I lost my life savings. I really did. I had just sold $1 million house. And this person was perpetrating me, probably looking at things. But, I saw that this person needed help. So I put myself at my own expense and went to go help this person and realized later that this person really was a scam artist. And so when we rescue, we have to look in the mirror, like, who are we really rescuing? Why aren't we taking care of ourselves? Here I'm the self-care queen. I got to learn about self-care on a whole nother level, because it's more than just taking care of your body. And more than just taking care of, your emotional health. But it's about taking care of every part of yourself. So, what is it about rescuing? So many of us want to go help others. And we'll help others because we're not helping ourselves. So I just got out of a marriage when all that happened. So what wasn't I looking at? I need to go rescue myself. That's who I really need to go rescue is what I look at. So yes, the story is sad, Angela. But you know what? But sadness is being a rescuer. You can empathize with people, but you don't sympathize with them and go and try to save them. And actually, what I'm also going to say is that I'm going to bring up the third common mistake very shortly soon. Because I want to get through this. I got a lot of work to do to catch up on. And I just want to talk to you about this because, my friend Holly, you might see Holly putting stuff up on Facebook. She wants me to come teach the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel is really about how we go through our stuff, looking deep, deep, deep inside of ourselves. Many of us don't want to even go there. Many of us can't even live here. This is what it has taught me, is to live here. Live here from my heart and not from here. And not to say that this doesn't help, but how can I rationalize what it covers up sadness? Rescue. Yes, rescue can cover up sadness. Yes, very true, Angela. So when we rescue others, we're covering up something with ourselves. And so what I ask you, who are you trying to rescue right now in your life? Who are you trying to save? Who are you trying to help? Because I just gave you 2 examples of rescue. I might have been a victim, but I also was a rescuer. I was rescuing someone in the entertainment industry who was actually a scam artist to help him with his business. So by investing my life savings and doing that at my own expense, I let a friend stay at my house at my own expense, thinking that she would just be like myself and be a very loving person and not take advantage of me. And so I rescued her. Hey, come live with me, I think what the real key is, we have to look at and detach. If we're going to help someone, we have to be able to detach. And if we can't detach when we're helping, then we really have to look at what part of it is going on here for ourselves. Like, what are we trying to help ourselves with? What are they mirroring to us that we need to look within ourselves? So it's very interesting, that friend who I was trying to help, who was displaced in between homes, I ended up later being displaced from my home. And also, basically living the way I'm living right now. So until I moved myself back to Southern California. So I decided that last year it's time for me to live what Spirit has downloaded to me. It's time for me to go home to LA, Los Angeles, and be with my family. And to be in that area, because that's where I'm supposed to be now. And I actually feel very home now. I went for a hike before I got on this video. And things feel like home. New York did not feel like home. New York felt like, oh shit, another lesson coming up for healing. And it's okay. It's good. It's fine. And that's what we have to do. We have to turn our situations into opportunities and see, goodie, what's in this for me to learn about myself so I can move forward. And so that's part of it. So anyway, getting back to my friend Holly wants me to come teach the wheel with her. And part of the wheel is really looking deep inside yourself. Why do I have these health challenges? Why do I have these money blocks? What is going on with ourselves? And so you can teach it when you lived it, when you've been through it. I can't go learn from somebody who hasn't been through it. That's really my honest to God truth. And so, I help heal myself of asthma because of the medicine wheel. I had asthma for a long time, most of my adult life. And then I done a lot of energy work and nutrition and things on myself. And so I went through the medicine wheel and I got to see deep, deep, deep inside what happened in a past life where I couldn't breathe. And I went through it and it was in pain. And so that's what I help a lot of people with today. So a lot of the things that we think are blocking us is not our source of what's happening with us. I'm here to tell you that. It's really how we're being here in life. Hi, Phyllis. How you doing? And hi, Todd. I don't know if you're still on or not. So I know people are popcorning in and out because I tend to be long-winded and share that with you. So I want to go through the third step here. So the third mistake, and that is being a perpetrator. So, we all can be perpetrators. I know we don't want to own this. We want to think that, we're good people. And maybe we're perpetrating unconsciously, Maybe even though I was a victim in both those situations, believe me, I turned back around and I perpetrated. I was so freaking angry with those people that I let them have it. I let them have it in my own way. And I let them have it that I was not going to put up with their bullshit. And sometimes these things are needed. So notice that where all these places that we're coming from are coming from. Are they coming from here, the heart? Hell no, they're not coming from the heart. They're coming from here. We're rationalizing about things. I feel like a victim. I'm going to help you, because our ego needs to feel good about doing things for other people. That's really the truth. And perpetrating, oh my God, it's the place we all go. And so I'm not going to deny that I never get angry, because I do get angry. I got angry when I lost my freaking phone on Friday night. I got angry when I found out I was scammed. Actually, I have to say I got really, really hurt. And that's deep. Because the anger is just a mask of what's really going on deep inside of us. We're all freaking angry about Donald Trump being president. Maybe not all of us, but many of us are. I mean, I actually have posted that I'm not moved by it at all. I just kind of don't even let the president of the United States rule who I am. I go about and do my business, do whatever I need to do. So that's really where I come from. So my question to you is that when we are perpetrating, we're angry. Judgments, this is all perpetrating. We're judging someone. We're angry with them. We're projecting all our bullshit onto them. And so it's like, I had a woman in my box last week. Oh my God. She wanted to get to know me. She even put in a Facebook thread, oh, meet my new bestie and all this. And then she comes in my box. And, you know, she wants to know who I know. And then when I start to tell her who I know and the connection, then she starts to like project her bullshit onto me. It was very interesting. And I watched it. And I went, no, that's not who I am. And so she tried to tell me that I was this, and that. And then she went and erased her comments. And it was just like, well, dear, do you know how you look right now? Because you're looking kind of weird there. So I was perpetrating a little bit there. Or no, and social media, we don't erase. You know, what are you trying to hide? So what began to understand is uncovering what this person was really about, because she says that I seeked her out to find out her relationship with the person whose post we were commenting on. I'm like, not really. I don't really care. My relationship with that person is solid. You know, I'm just telling you my connection with that person, how I learned that person. But anyway, we don't need to get into the story of all that. But here's the thing is perpetrating. How do you perpetrate? Or how have you been perpetrated? Or how do you watch someone else get perpetrated? So it goes all the way around. We become perpetrators. We get perpetrated. And we watch other people get perpetrated. And so how do you react to it? Because how you react to perpetration is some healing that needs to be done. So I ask you to go within. Which one resonates with you right now? Maybe all three of them do. I just showed you how I was, you know, victim, felt rescued, or, you know, been a rescuer and perpetrated, and all in two different situations. So what role do you play in all those situations? Maybe there's a situation in your life you're dealing with, a story. And I shouldn't even call it a situation, a story that you're living. Because we all get caught in our stories. Our stories is coming from here. We rationalize about things, why things happen to us, or why this happened in our lives. But, you know, when it comes right down to it, when I'm processing people and when I'm processing myself, I drop into here, the heart. Where do you drop into? Can you get here? And my job as a shaman, as a medicine woman, is to get everyone to come here. Because we're all living up here. It's really easy to go here and rationalize and make things out of logic. But until we feel here, feel the deep, deep, deep feelings of here, then can we heal the world on the collective level. When we heal ourselves here. And no one wants to be here. No one wants to be here. They think they're here. And a lot of us want to do this spiritual bypass thing. Today, none, thank God. Well, good, Angela. That's great. So my question to you is, you know, how many of us want to do the spiritual bypass? So we'll go, oh, okay, that happened to me, but now I know Spirit's going to take care of it. And that was the spiritual bypass that happened to me on Friday when the person said I was with said to me, oh, you're going to get your phone back. But it was like, no, I need to feel right then and there, where I was feeling like, I'm really sad that I'm going to have to put out some more money for another phone, that I'm not going to be in communication with my friends right now, that I'm really sad that I can't hear from you, that, you know, to help me get my phone back sooner. And I should have said that, and I didn't say that. So, you know, where in your life do you feel perpetrated on? Do you feel like a rescuer, or do you feel like a victim? And if you're judging others, you're a perpetrator. That's really the truth. And so I'm perpetrating you by telling you you're a perpetrator, by judging others. So you see how this circle goes around? And so here's the deal is, if you're facing some kind of challenge in your life right now, what's the challenge for you? Is there a health challenge? If there's a health challenge, I guarantee you, you're sitting on this triangle of victim, rescuer, or perpetrator. So earlier I was starting to talk about, you know, what's going on with your health. You can usually tell what's going on. So digestive issues, stomach, spleen issues, can be about what you're thinking and feeling, and how you might not be honoring those feelings. Large intestine and lungs are all about letting go. Letting go of things. And if you think about, let's see, heart and small intestine, this is really about what are you being pretentious about in your life. A lot of people don't like me to say that, but I look at that. I've been a Chinese medicine practitioner for 20 years. And believe me, when people come in with matters of the heart or even the small intestine, because they're partners in Chinese medicine. They're about fire issues. They're about what are you being pretentious about in your life? What don't you want to look at? And then something else we look at, let's see, liver and gallbladder, so anger. So this is anger and frustration, and this is the mask we wear instead of feeling our true feelings. Because underneath the mask of anger and frustration is a deeper, much more vulnerable feeling. So we put on our mask because we don't want people to feel our vulnerability or to know our vulnerability, even though there are many of us who are empathic, can feel it and know it. So what mask are you wearing right now that you won't let us in on because you're protecting a layer of yourself? That's the question I ask. So then the other question is, let's see, lung, large intestine, stomach, spleen, kidney, and bladder are all about fear. So if you got things going on with your kidney and your bladder, what are you being fearful about? So any dis-ease going on in that area. So, and even if it's not directly tied to that, then my question to you is, you got backaches? That has to do with that water element, kidney and bladder. So where do you in your life are you feeling fearful about? That's the question to ask yourself. Where are you not courageous? Kidney, yes, Angela. Kidney is about fear. Most definitely fear. What are you feeling fearful about in your life right now? What are you terrified about? What are you not being courageous about? So I know a friend of mine had a stroke, I believe. Somebody who's on here, not too long ago. A lot of things have come up for her. And so a lot of dysfunctionality in her body, or things not functioning the way they were. She's not being able to exercise. So my question is, what are you fearful about? Look inside deep of your fear. Stem from fear with stress. Well, you know, stress comes about because you are fearful about something. So it's time to get really deep inside to find out what the fear comes from. And it's deeper than anything on the surface here. You've overcome it. Okay. All right. So cool. We could have a talk about that separately. And I wouldn't, this work is so intricate and detailed, so sensitive that I wouldn't even have a conversation with someone about what's going on with them, with their body right now on here. Because this is about really getting to the nitty-gritty of the problem. And so I invite you to come in my inbox and ask me a question about yourself, about your kidneys, because I'm reading that there's something deeper going on here that meets the eye and that you're not willing to look at. And so this is the unconscious stuff that we're not aware of. We know about the conscious stuff because it's on this level. And this is when you need your medicine woman, your shaman to call you out. And it's not just about calling you out, but to take you on the deep layers of healing. Of going, well, what is this really about here? What's really going on with you? What is the collective consciousness going on about right now? We got Donald Trump as a president. I want to come back here because I want to give an example to you. We got Donald Trump as our president. I got some friends on Facebook who are cool with him being president. I'm indifferent because I don't let him rule me. I am who I am. It's like, fuck you, Donald Trump. I'm Tomasa Macapilla. I'm going to do what the heck I want to do. Anyway, and there are a lot of women who are upset because of the way he treats women, the way he talks about women, you know. It's like, that's him. I wouldn't let somebody like that in my life. And so I let somebody like that in my life several years ago when they did the financial scam on me, when I experienced the financial scam. And so here's the deal here. We got this president here on all levels, got all kinds of stuff going on, all this staticky stuff going on. So I ask you, what part of in your consciousness is he representing that you don't like? It's time to go inside and look. And many of you are going to be defensive about it. And I'm sorry that I'm being in your face and you can be defensive about it. But I want you to go deep inside, because what appears around us is basically what's going on with our consciousness. And it's unconscious sometimes. So if we have a health challenge, we have to go deep, deep, deep inside and see why we manifest the health problem. We can take supplements, we can eat right, we can do energy work. And the reason why I have people do energy work is because the energy work opens you up to feel more. And so if you are not doing the energy work, then you're going to stay stuck where you are. You'll slowly open up. So it's about the vibration that you want to create for yourself. And so you have to move these shadows. These shadows show up in our bodies. Physically, problems with our health or diseases. I call them diseases instead of disease. So we have to look at that. What's going on inside of ourselves when we have these things happen? I'm not going to say I don't have anything going on right now because I don't, but I don't want to like bring it on either. So I want to just like drop into, okay, as issues come up, I deal with them. As issues come up, how do you deal with them? Do you blame them on somebody? Do you rescue someone? Do you perpetrate someone? Or do you go, what is this mirroring for me? What is this mirroring for me that I need to look at within myself? And that's how I healed myself of colon issues many years ago. Yes, I did all these other things, but when I went and did the deep work within myself, that opened up for me to be able to heal with the supplements and with the nutrition and with the energy work. When you drop deep inside of yourself to do some healing. Sobbing. Sometimes it takes sobbing. And that's when your soul has been touched. So my question to you is, where do you fall on this triangle of victim, rescuer, and perpetrator? And you can deny that you're not there. But somewhere in your life, if you've got some disharmony going on, disharmony can show up in a relationship, with your health, with your business, the way you attract money in your life, then you have some disharmony going on. And what is it mirroring to you? And sometimes you cannot see your own unconsciousness. Many times you can, because you're blind by it. Here's the deal. We live our lives 2% conscious, the other 98% conscious. So how the heck do you expect yourself to figure out the unconscious part? So how do you expect yourself to figure out the unconscious part if you live 98% of your life unconscious? That's my question to you. So, namaste. Pretty soon, my friend Holly and I were both shamans, medicine women, trained, very, very deeply trained. We're going to be doing some work and sharing with you how you might be able to work with us with the wheel, doing deep, deep, deep work, retreating. And this is for you if this is something you want to look at. But I do want to share with you that the work I do in my book, 30 Days to a Vibrant, Healthier, Younger You, all the energy work that I do in there will be extended in this retreat. It's going deeper. And I urge you to go get the book. If you weren't able to get in on the free version of the book, it's time for you to go buy the book. It's a small investment in yourself. Do you invest in yourself is my question to you. Because if you don't, then there we go. We start off there. That is self-love. That is like, many people got that book and they put it on the energetic shelf. I was with one this weekend and I went, why haven't you read the book? It says all this in here. I helped her out with some things this weekend. She went, oh my God, you're right. Oh my God, I didn't realize all the stuff you had put in that book. So my question to you is, go get the book. Start taking a look. Start cracking yourself open, because that's what the book starts to do, to crack yourself open. Cracking yourself open allows you to open up your heart and to feel and to be here in the world on a whole nother level. And it's not about numbing out. It's about leading with your heart and bringing down our barriers, our armor, and showing who you really are. So, namaste. If you have any questions, go in my inbox and ask questions. If you feel comfortable asking them right out here in the open, I'll be happy to answer them. And so I'll put the link up to my book because it's the start of you cracking yourself open. And I want to know you guys, I love you all. Thank you for joining me on Facebook Live. This is a little bit controversial today, but next week we'll dive in deeper and going into looking at our childhoods, because a lot of the unconscious stuff that we deal with today comes from something in our past, in our lives. And just because you dealt with it once doesn't mean that you don't have another layer to do it. So I just want to share that with you. Namaste. Have a beautiful day. Mwah! Take care. Bye-bye.